And, you talk about teams, but you and I both coach. And inevitably, what I find is the most successful teams have the right culture in place.
That's right. Good day, Industrial Advisors listeners, and thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking subscribe wherever you podcast. Click the like button and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we put up new content. Leave us a comment about anything we discuss here today or general comments about the show. Now, let's get into it.
Welcome to our Industrial Advisors podcast. You have Bill Condon and Matt McGregor. We have a 5-minute Friday today, and the topic is going to be the importance of team culture. People talk about culture all the time. Truly, I think it's the most valuable thing an organization can do or a team can do is have a unique, really good culture in place because it helps across the board on all fronts. When you are in the right place, you like where you work, you're more successful, you have more fun,
That's right.
and it creates more loyalty. So we are big fans on culture. In fact, it's probably one of the things we are most proud of as a team is the culture that we have on our 7-person team.
And I'd agree with that. And I think it's a testimony to the culture that you create when you don't have turnover. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
And so, we've had our team together. We just don't have people to leave, right? So obviously our culture is working for us and it's working for the team.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And you talk about teams, but you and I both coach, and inevitably what I find is the most successful teams have the right culture in place.
That's right.
Do you have any stories of coaching over the years where you guys have had a great...
I do.
Yeah, of course.
I've coached a lot. I coached 27 seasons of youth sports. And I would say the team that I created the most culture with really didn't have a lot of, talent on it, individual talent, I would say. It was a little girls team. It was my daughter's team, and I coached them for 5 years. I don't know what the record was over that 5 years, but it was, I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, it was something like 250 wins and maybe 8 or 10 losses.
Yeah.
And I would say over that period,
it's a good winning percentage.
Yeah. Over that period, they won just about every, tournament and title, and even, Wesco 4 times over, which they were the only single A school in the Wesco. Most of those were 3 and 4A feeder programs. And they came in second in state twice. So I would say during that reign, they were the second best team in Washington for their appropriate grade. That was both in feeder and AAU basketball, which is the club sports. And there was one better team, which was Tahoma, and we were 3-1 against them over that period. But the team culture, it was really fun. And as you know, I preferred coaching girls basketball as opposed to boys because the girls really want to please each other and play as a team, right? So They learned systems, and boy, they knew every system, right? And the culture was, we were all going to be, better as a unit. And they loved traveling and winning, and even a couple of the girls put in they're now seniors in high school, and they put in their little senior quotes at their favorite times, and they would quote all these times during that era.
Yeah.
And they learned team culture during that, and it was fun, and they won.
Yeah.
And they really just were not that talented. We didn't have big players. We didn't have great players. We just had great systems and great culture.
Yeah, I think the two really go hand in hand, right? A great culture helps you win.
That's right.
As you know, I coached that. I've coached a lot of teams, but Cam's team, 10-year-old All-Stars, we won state this year.
Yes.
And they were really good. They were talented, no question about it. But there were times along the way where you face adversity, and when the team has a great culture and picks each other up, it helps you win. And there were a couple games that stood out to me that where we would not have won those games without a great, unique team culture. And I think, when I think about Colliers, for example, in the commercial real estate space, the thing that continues to keep us so happy about Colliers, there's lots of things, but the number one thing is the culture that we have, the relationships that we have, of course, with our team internally, which we think is second to none, but the people in our office, and then all the industrial brokers up and down the West Coast that we've built these excellent relationships with.
That's right.
I mean, that matters more than anything else. And when a company can go build a team culture that creates loyalty, people just don't leave. People love where they work, and it makes it really sticky to stay in that same organization. So we love it here, and a big part of it is the culture that Colliers has created.
That's right. We have an incredible team, and I think to your point, we have a winning team, and I think we have that winning culture because we're always striving as a team to be better than we've seen on anything that we do, and I think that culture is resonates throughout Colliers, and as to your point, through the West Coast Connections team as we've developed.
Yeah. Well, I always remember David Bowden, who's with Colliers has been just a substantial figure in the Colliers culture over the years. He always talked about the number one thing that a company can do is build a strong culture.
That's
and
right.
And I really believe that. So anyway, just a quick 5-minute Friday on team culture. We're very proud of our culture and believe in it. So thank you for listening.
Happy Friday.